You've waited years for a foldable that finally feels right? Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 arrives as the culmination of every prototype glitch, every hinge misstep, and every software stub we've endured. It folds thinner than ever, unrolls into a tablet so seamless you'd swear it was carved from a single slab of metal and glass, and it costs nearly $2,000. But in chasing perfection, Samsung made a bold sacrifice. Gone is S Pen support. No more sketching on the fly, no precise input for journaling or quick whiteboard doodles. At that price, you'd expect everything. And yet, here we are. So today, we're pitting Samsung's most polished foldable against Apple's gold standard compact slate, the iPad Mini 7. One side flexes cutting-edge versatility and pro-grade imaging. The other doubles down on simplicity, ecosystem polish, and ease of use. Which is right for you? Let's dive in. From the moment you peel the Z Fold 7 out of its box, you know this is no thicker than a premium flagship should be. Folded, it measures a mere 8.9 millimeters. Once you unfold it, you're staring at a remarkably flat 4.2 millimeter slab. At just 215 grams, it barely burdens your pocket, and for the first time in the lineup, you won't feel a bulge where the hinge resides. Samsung's Gorilla Glass Victus Ceramic 2 and IP48 rating mean this thing shrugs off dust and water like a champ. They've even retooled the hinge internals to resist debris better, so you won't hear that unsettling grit over time. Yet whispers already swirl online. Could razor-thin equals fragile? Rumors suggest some early reviewers spotted micro creases forming sooner than expected, fueling speculation of a bend gate 2.0. In contrast, the iPad Mini 7 never needs an apology. No folding surfaces, no moving parts, and zero creases. Its edge-to-edge 8.3-inch liquid retina display sits flush beneath an unbroken sheet of glass. At 293 grams and just 6.3 millimeters thin, it's practically weightless yet feels robust in hand. Slip it into a bag or large pocket and forget it's even there. Until you need it, that is. For daily wear and tear, Apple's straightforward design remains bulletproof, while Samsung's marvel of engineering still carries just a hint of prototype anxiety. But raw toughness and elegance only get you so far. What happens when you try to finesse that screen with a stylus? On earlier generations, the Z Fold line championed the S Pen as its signature feature, turning your phone-tablet hybrid into an artist's pad or a fast-paced note-taking machine. Now, poof. No digitizer layer under the display, no magnetic housing, no stylus compatibility at all. Samsung's engineers claim the move allowed them to hit that sub-9mm thickness without sacrificing battery or hinge integrity. But fans are livid. Community forums light up with frustration. You took away the pen for what? Another 0.2 millimeters? And we don't all want a bulky case to attach a third-party stylus. Rumors hint that an S Pen Pro could arrive mid-cycle in a rugged Pro shell that snaps on, but Samsung has kept mum. Until then, any sketch, annotation, or precision tap must happen with finger or a generic capacitive stylus. Annoying if you relied on palm rejection or pressure sensitivity. Meanwhile, the iPad Mini 7 embraces the Apple Pencil 2 without hesitation. Snap it magnetically, charge wirelessly, and enjoy pixel-perfect input across every creative app. No compromises, no workarounds, just flawless pencil-to-screen magic. If you value pen-in-hand freedom, though, both devices have more than just thickness on their minds. You'll want to see what they pack under the hood next. Samsung didn't skimp on optics. The Z Fold 7 houses a 200-megapixel primary sensor, yes, 200 megapixels, flanked by a 12-megapixel ultra-wide and a 10-megapixel telephoto with 3 times optical zoom. It's essentially the Galaxy S Ultra trio crammed into a foldable chassis. That means you can shoot 8K video, dial in super high-res crop and edit workflows on the go, and even live stream in stunning detail, all on the expansive inner display. Want to color-grade footage in real time? The Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset paired with a vapor chamber derivative cooler keeps thermals in check so you can push sustained workloads without throttling. The iPad Mini 7's camera department is, well, serviceable. A 12-megapixel rear snapper for crisp video calls, document scans, and the occasional Instagram shot. Its 4K video capture is fine for vlogs, but don't expect DSLR-level control or depth mapping. Sure, you can edit that footage in LumaFusion, but you'll miss the Fold 7's raw sensor grunt and on-device AI upscaling. For creators who demand pro-grade capture in their pocket, Samsung's Foldable is peerless. For everyone else, students, casual shooters, FaceTime addicts, the iPad mini's cameras get the job done without stealing focus. But raw hardware is only half the battle. Smooth software and a thriving app ecosystem ultimately dictate how you use these tools every day. Fold open the Z Fold 7 and you're greeted by Android 16 with One UI 8. Samsung's tweaks to split-screen multitasking, pop-up view, and its desktop-style DeX mode are undeniably powerful. Pack multiple apps side by side, drag and drop between windows, even connect a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse for a lightweight workstation. Plus, Samsung's pledge of 7 years of security and platform updates is industry-leading. Yet despite all that, tablet-optimized Android apps remain a mixed bag. Games scale okay, but creative tools often look like phone apps blown up to fill a larger canvas. Procreate-style drawing apps are still smartphone ports, not bespoke experiences. Rumors suggest Google's long-promised Android 16L improvements might land later this year to bridge the gap. But for now, you'll still find missing UI elements or odd blank spaces. By contrast, the iPad mini 7 runs iPadOS 18, where every app feels purpose-built for the tablet. From Procreate's pressure-sensitive brush engine to LumaFusion's multicam editing suite to Kindle's page-turn-perfect format, each experience is polished, consistent, and free of rough edges. Apple's App Store remains the gold standard for tablet apps, especially for creatives, students, and avid readers. When you open an app on the Mini, you know it was crafted for that exact screen ratio. End of story. Even the most refined software means little if you're constantly hunting for a charger, or worse, stuck waiting for one. Samsung trudged a thin line to hit that featherweight profile, packing a 4,400 mAh dual-cell battery. In real-world testing, you can expect roughly 10 to 12 hours of mixed usage, web browsing on the cover screen, streaming on the inner display, and a handful of gaming or camera sessions. That's respectable for a foldable, but it trails the Mini 7's endurance, which reliably pushes 13 to 15 plus hours on its 5,100 mAh cell thanks to iPadOS's efficient resource management. Worse, charging speeds on the Z Fold 7 cap out at 25 watts wired. At that point, you'll need nearly 90 minutes to refill from empty, a sluggish crawl for a device claiming flagship status. Wireless charging and reverse power sharing are neat party tricks, but they don't help if you're late for a meeting. The Mini 7 supports 20-watt fast charging, which is fine, but third-party GAN chargers can boost it even higher. Both can plug in for a quick top-off, yet the Fold's charging feels conspicuously underwhelming at $2,000. With design, pen support, cameras, software, and battery weighed in, let's talk dollars and cents, because value is what ultimately decides the winner. At $2,000, the Z Fold 7 demands a premium price because it promises 3 tools in one: your daily phone, a portable creative tablet, and a flagship-grade camera. If you're a power user who needs to ditch your phone, your iPad, and maybe even your mirrorless shooter in favor of one pocketable device, the investment can pencil out, especially when you consider Samsung's trade-in deals and financing plans. But if you already own a stellar smartphone, maybe even last year's Galaxy S Ultra or any of Apple's iPhone 16 lineup, the Z Fold 7 becomes a luxury extra. The iPad mini 7, by comparison, starts at $499 for the base Wi-Fi model and climbs to around $699 with cellular. It slots perfectly as a secondary device, light enough to carry everywhere, buttery smooth for media or sketching, and connected enough for productivity on the go. No hybrid trade-offs, just a tablet that does its one job flawlessly. Rumors even suggest Chinese brands like Oppo and Huawei will undercut Samsung's foldable prices later this year, offering marginally thicker hinges, faster charging, but aggressive cost-cutting to steal market share. If that happens, the Fold 7's $2,000 price tag may look even steeper in hindsight. So, where does that leave you, the viewer deciding which side to pick? If you crave bleeding-edge design, pro-level photography, and phone-tablet convergence in one device, and you don't mind sacrificing Stylus support or the last ounce of software polish, Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 stands alone. It's a marvel of engineering, a status symbol, and a glimpse at the future of mobile computing. But if you prize ease of use, ecosystem harmony, App Store supremacy, and solid battery life at a fraction of the cost, the iPad mini 7 remains the smarter, more practical buy. Is folding really the future, or will simplicity keep reigning supreme? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you want more deep dives into the latest tech showdowns. Because whether you fold or don't fold, the real power lies in knowing exactly what you need.